Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be discussing a few different controversial Fortnite settings for controller players. So I typically try to showcase my personal settings at least once every 2 to 3 months or so, and in those videos, I'll typically give a short little explanation about why I have certain settings either on or off. However, the problem with that is usually I don't have enough time to go as in-depth as I would ideally like to, and also I know that most people don't actually really watch settings videos, they kinda just quickly skip through and look at each individual setting. No shame in that though, because I've done the same thing many times before. So this video here gives me an opportunity to really go into detail about the settings I get asked about the most, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first setting that we're going to be discussing is hands down the one that I get asked about the most: confirm edit on release. I'm someone who's used confirm edit on release for a while now. I remember I switched between using it and not using it for a few days after it was initially added into the game, then eventually at one point I just decided to keep it on and I haven't looked back since then. So I've definitely talked about this in previous videos, but it's been a while and certain aspects of my opinion have changed over time. So here's my final answer to the question that I get asked all the time: should I use confirm edit on release or not? So when it comes to editing on controller, you basically have 3 different options. You can edit with single edit binds, double edit binds, or confirm edit on release. Single edit binds means that your edit and confirm edit buttons are the same, double edit binds means that your edit and confirm edit buttons are different, and confirm edit on release obviously just means that you use the setting. Now it's been proven that single edit binds are considerably slower than double edit binds, so because of that, most people agree that out of the 3 options, that's definitely the worst. So if you're using single edit binds, switching to confirm edit on release would be an improvement for you. However, the real debate is double edit binds versus confirm edit on release. Now it's been proven by a few different people that when it comes to max editing speed, double edit binds are slightly faster than confirm edit on release, mainly due to the fact that on a controller, pushing a button takes less time than releasing a trigger, which is how confirm edit on release works. So due to that very slight speed advantage, I think that's why you see more top players using double edit binds than confirm edit on release. However, my response to that is basically this: the very slight speed advantage of double edit binds is only really a factor if you edit ridiculously fast. Using myself as an example, I think I'm pretty fast when it comes to editing, but I also don't think I'm fast enough to where the super slight delay of confirm edit on release is hurting me. I can still do all the double and triple edits that I'd ever need to. So if you're more of an average player, I would personally recommend confirm edit on release for you. Not having to press a whole new button to confirm an edit really does simplify the editing process, and I feel it makes it so much smoother as a whole since you're basically only pressing 2 buttons instead of 3. Yes, it's true that more pros use double edit binds than confirm edit on release, but as I've realized over time, I think that's also slightly misleading. Those pros are all in the small percentage of players who actually utilize the very slight speed advantage of double edit binds. So that's as in-depth as I can possibly go about that, and let me know with a comment right now whether you use confirm edit on release or not. The next setting we need to talk about is controller vibration. Much like with confirm edit on release, there's a pretty strong consensus among top controller players that having vibration off is better than having it on. And unlike with confirm edit on release, I actually agree with that consensus. If you've played other shooter games before Fortnite, you may know that people recommending turning off controller vibration is nothing new. I actually stopped using vibration a solid 6 to 7 years ago when I mainly played Call of Duty and Halo because all the pro players had it off. Now at the end of the day, I doubt it makes anything more than a small difference, but here's the general reasoning why almost all the top players turn it off. Pretty much every time you shoot or build in Fortnite, your controller vibrates and therefore so do your fingers and hands. What that does is it kind of throws off the super tiny aim adjustments that you make mid-fight, which could be crucial. Another added benefit of turning off vibrations is that it also gives a huge boost to your controller's battery life. I know that isn't really directly related to Fortnite, but just thought it was something worth mentioning. Now, if you're someone who uses vibration and now you want to turn it off, just be aware that it's actually something that takes a little getting used to. A lot of people who play with vibration rely on it to realize when they're getting hit with shots. So if you turn it off, you're going to need to learn to reaction build based on what you're seeing and not just because your controller's vibrating, and I personally believe that's a good thing in the long run. The next setting I want to discuss is Colorblind Mode. So I would say that in general, the majority of really good players do use some kind of colorblind mode in Fortnite. However, back maybe 6 to 8 months ago, everybody would use the same colorblind setting because it was unanimously the best, but because of that, Fortnite changed it, so now everybody actually uses different settings. The 3 available options are Deuteranope, Tritanope, and Protanope, and I looked up a few different really good players just to get a good idea of what the most common colorblind settings are, and honestly, it was as close to an even split as you could possibly imagine. The only consensus that I was able to find is that it seemed like almost everybody used a colorblind strength between 7 and 10, so that seems to be the move. So I'll just play a clip in the background of me comparing the different graphic settings. I personally believe Tritanope is the best for console specifically because it kinda makes everything brighter, and that's important because of the fact that console has shadows and is forced to play on high graphic settings, so it just seems like it's a lot darker in general than playing on PC, but I'll let you guys decide for yourself. Moving on to our next setting, we have one that I don't think I've ever talked about before on this channel, 3D headphones. Honestly, up until about 2 months ago, I didn't even know this setting was in the game. But for some reason, over the last few weeks, I've seen more and more comments asking me if I have 3D headphones turned on or off, so maybe some big YouTuber made a video about it or something. And since I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't heard of it either, the description of the setting directly from Fortnite says, turning on 3D headphones enables binaural audio and provides 3D audio spatialization so you can hear the locations of sounds more precisely. This includes above you, below you, and behind you. 3D headphones is recommended for use with stereo headphones only. So lots of big words here that sound pretty good, and eventually after seeing enough questions about it, I decided to give this setting a try. It's interesting because when it came to footsteps specifically, which I think most people would say is the most important aspect of audio in Fortnite, it actually did seem like I was able to identify where they were coming from a little bit better than normal. I think this was especially apparent when players were either above or below me. Vertical audio has always been one of the weaker points of Fortnite audio, so any improvement to that is actually really nice. However, when it came to everything else, I didn't really like it. With sounds such as weapons being shot and chest audio, it just seemed really drowned out compared to how it normally sounds. There would be times where it sounded like a fight between 2 players was taking place 20 to 30 meters away, but then I'd round a corner and they'd actually be right in front of me. So mainly because of that, I personally have chosen to keep this setting off, but I've seen a decent amount of people swear that 3D headphones has made their Fortnite audio so much better. I'm guessing the type of headset you use plays a major factor, so I'd recommend at least giving it a try for 2 to 3 games. If you hate it, you can just turn it off like I did, or if you love it, it may change your game forever. Finally, I just want to quickly mention some more convenience-based settings that I have on, but I feel like don't need much of an explanation. I love auto-open doors for when I accidentally edit a door when trying to escape a 1x1. I really like hold to swap pickup because it saves a lot of time when you're picking up certain items and messing with your inventory, and I also really like the setting tap to search/interact. Basically, it allows you to easily drop items while doing things like reviving teammates or using the reboot van. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Let me hear your thoughts about any of the settings that we discussed in this video, so confirm edit on release, colorblind settings, controller vibrations, or 3D headphones. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.